So I recently finished reading The Pillars of Wealth by David Greene, and I wanted to give you a quick review of the book, some of the key takeaways that I found, and how you can implement it into your own life, and how I'm implementing it in my own life as well. So The Pillars of Wealth, it recently came out end of 2023, and it's written by David Greene, the host of the Bigger Pockets podcast. It's actually one of my favorite podcasts. If you haven't listened to it, check it out. I'll link to it below. But let's dig into what makes this book unique. So what I like about it is it talks about not only investing, but also how to make money, how to save money, and the three pillars of wealth are essentially making money, saving money, and investing money. And the premise of the book is that you can't have one without the other, and this is a common misconception that we see in the financial literacy world. Is there's so many videos and podcasts talking about how to invest money, whether that's in real estate or the stock market or crypto or whatever it might be. Put your money in this and you'll be a millionaire. But you really got to have a solid foundation. You've got to have the skills to make money. You've got to have the skills to save money. And you might be thinking, but making money and saving money is easy, right? It's investing that's the hard part. But no, it's actually the combination of three, that's the trifecta, that is really gonna build sustainable financial wealth. So let's dig into the book and some of the key takeaways that I found. So the first key takeaway is your relationship with money. And I love this because it's the foundation of it all. And it's the root of it all. It's where it all starts, is do you have a victim mindset or do you have an ownership mindset when it comes to money? The second one when it comes to money is having your why. And this is important. I think it really relates to that ownership aspect as well, like that ownership versus victim mindset, but it's more about what's your why behind money. Why do you give it importance? And the book basically talks about four things that are key, and they are freedom, purpose, security, and the fourth one being passion and fun. So for example, if your purpose is to build wealth to have passion and fun, it might be so you have money to buy really nice cars or go racing or go on really exotic trips, versus your purpose behind money might be freedom. It gives you the opportunity to not have to work a 9-to-5. The next one I found really interesting was that wealth is measured by either net worth or cash flow. So what that means, net worth is often, let's say you own a house. You might put that on your assets, on your balance sheet, versus cash flow is how much money are you actually making. And this is a key distinction between net worth and cash flow, because there's a saying that you can't eat off of net worth, which is so important because, again, like let's say you have that house, you can't sell it or make money off of it that's going to help you eat on a day-to-day basis, versus cash flow is what you actually live off of. Okay, some of my favorite takeaways. Passive income is mostly a myth, and that's because high rates of return are usually associated with either more risk or more work. Let me give you an example. Let's say flipping houses. Flipping houses gives you higher rates of return because you're putting in more work into it. You're more involved in looking at the house, buying it, running the construction, and then selling it. Like there's so many more aspects involved, and that's what gets you that higher rate of return. Versus the stock market, let's say the S&P 500, is generally a lower rate of return because it is safer, there's less work involved, and then even safer would be like, let's say bonds, where you might only get 1 or 2% return per year. But again, because there's lower amount of risk, lower amount of effort required, it results generally in lower returns. And that's important because, again, if you're looking for passive income, you're like, oh, I'm going to make thousands and thousands of dollars a month passively. If you're making that, you've got either two options. You either have a large sum of money that you put again into, like, let's say the stock market, and you make a little bit of return, or if you've got less money, you have to work more to grow it more. And then the next one is focusing on big questions. This is one of my favorite because you could be thinking about, okay, let me, skip out on that latte or that coffee, and over the course of a month, I'll save $150. Wow, amazing. That's gonna get you so much closer to financial freedom. But really, it's not. You've got to think about different questions. Like, for example, house hacking. If you're able to house hack, you're able to build up your assets because you have that house. And then also you not only are building your assets, but maybe you're able to get your payments down to, like, let's say $500 a month. So instead of paying a mortgage or paying rent on your own, which might be, let's say, $2,500 a month, because you're house hacking, let's say you're renting out a portion of it, your net out of pocket might only be $500 a month. So now you're saving $2,000 a month. That's a lot of lattes. Okay, the next one is that real wealth is created slowly and it's not built in get-rich-quick schemes. Take, for example, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett became a billionaire at the age of 60, and then from 60 to 90, that's when he went from a billionaire to being worth over $100 billion. So the first 30, 40 years of his career only really got him like 1% of his wealth. It all happened afterwards, and that's because one, wealth compounds, and two, wealth is built slowly. And then there's 5 key ingredients that are required for wealth. So they are capital, knowledge, results, time, and leverage. Again, building wealth is not an event, it's not a one-time situation where you do something and now all of a sudden you're rich, but it's a journey. It takes time, and it's the foundation of who you are. You're a person who either builds wealth or you're a person who doesn't build wealth. It's really as simple as that, I think. So those are some of the key takeaways so far that I really enjoyed. I'm gonna keep going, but let me know in the comments below how you're enjoying this video. What's been one key takeaway that resonates with you the most? Let me know below. Okay, the next one is don't focus on lag measures, but focus on lead measures. So lag measures might be, okay, I made $1,000 today, but it's not about how much money you made, but it's like, what did you do to make it? What can you control? Let's take this YouTube journey that I'm on, for example. If my lag measure might be the number of views I have or the number of subscribers, but that's not something that I can necessarily control. What I can control is how many videos I put out. So that's the lead measure. That's what I should be measuring and what I should be focused on. So I'm focused on, okay, making 1 video a week. And that's a more important metric for me to focus on than to be like, okay, I got 1 subscriber today, I got 50 subscribers tomorrow. That at the end of the day doesn't matter, because it's, again, the lead measures that matter. And the next one, so there's 3 pillars to wealth. There's making money, saving money, and investing money. And the most important out of all of that is defense. And defense is where you make money and you save money. You put it aside and you let it grow slowly in your savings account before you even put it into an investment. And the key is you need to have enough savings to make a significant investment. If you don't put money aside, you have no savings. That means no money to invest, means no investments, it means no passive income. This is another one that I really like, and it's about paying yourself first. So don't spend and then save, but save first and then spend what you have left over. So for example, if your paycheck comes in, you get $1,000, 10% of that should go into savings right away. So now you're down to 900, and then spend off of that 900. Next, we've got compound interest either works for you or against you. I think it was Albert Einstein who said that compounding is the 8th wonder of the world. And basically what that means is if you've got investments and they're compounding, they're growing more and more every year. Think about that Warren Buffett example. He only got to 1 billion by the age of 60, but it was those 30 years after that got him to 100. That's the power of compounding. Now think about the same thing in terms of debt. If you've got credit card or loans, if you've got a small amount and you're not paying it off, that over long periods of time is gonna grow as well and is gonna be detrimental to your financial health. Okay, so we talked about defense. Now the other one is offense, where it's how do you increase your current level of income? And really it's about enjoying the process. So for example, where I work right now, I'm really enjoying the work that I do. So I'm able to put in more time. I'm able to really stay focused. That's going to help me get promoted. That's going to help me make more money so that I can save more of it, put it into investments, and let those investments grow. The next key takeaway was that you need a winning mindset, because eventually willpower will run out. And if you don't have that winning mindset, you're not going to be motivated to continue. So going back to what I mentioned in the beginning about having that why behind why you're working so hard, whether it's to like save money, because if you don't have a strong enough why, you're not going to have the discipline to save money and in order to invest it. So especially over long periods of time, let's say you're saving $100 a week or more, hopefully, and then you see your account grow to like $10,000 and you're like, wow, this is great. I'm going to go on a really amazing vacation. But if you have a strong why, you'll save that $10,000 and continue to let it grow because you have that discipline, because you have that strong why. And then maybe it becomes like 100,000, and then you're able to invest it into like real estate or the stock market and really let your wealth grow even faster. But again, you've got to have that strong why and you've got to have that discipline. And this last one is, if you're looking to build massive wealth, you need to increase the velocity of your money. So what does that mean? Basically, before making a long-term investment, amplify your returns. So let's say you've got $10,000. Instead of investing that right into the stock market or into a long-term rental, maybe you do something with that money first. Maybe you flip a property, and so now you've enhanced your returns really quickly. So let's say, again, these numbers are made up. Let's say you've got $10,000, you flip a property, now you've got $20,000, and now you put that $20,000, or maybe you take $10,000 and you put it into a long-term investment, and you take the other $10,000 and you reinvest it to, maybe flip another property. Now you've got another $10,000. Do that instead of just starting with that $10,000 and putting it into a long-term investment right away, because now your money is stuck, it's tied there, and it is gonna grow, but it's gonna grow slowly. And as this velocity of money increases, your wealth is gonna grow that much faster. So I hope you found those insights helpful. If you're looking to learn more about how to achieve financial freedom and grow your wealth, check out some of these videos next.